Welcome back to Sonic the Hedgehog. It's issue 65. Who is Nate Morgan? I don't know. Do you? Let's see. Alright.
Excess nuggets. I guess it was wishful thinking when I assumed you'd been buried by the avalanche for good. Come now, Sonic, did you really believe that several tons of falling snow could affect a sorcerer with a mere adjuster can turn his entire body into earth, wind, fire, or water? No, that's why it's called wishful thinking.
The Fellowship of the Rings. Those are all your eyes moment there.
You and your measly sidekick have chased me all over Mobius, and I have had enough. You're a meddling quickster. I give you one last chance. Go back to your home at Metropolis. Leave me to my affairs, and I shall be forgiven. All shall be forgiven.
You're in no position to grant anything to anyone, Ixis, not until you tell me why you brought your battles to my doorstep.
I am the one who's been wronged in this instance, Nate Morgan. I was brought here against my will by your frosty, fleeping flunky, the abominable Snowbird.
Rawr. You always worry no good liar, Ixis. You'll use your element ability to stow yourself away in Eddie's flame-thrown cyborg arm. Otherwise, your foul form would never have gone past the mystical wards placed around my fortress to keep out beings like yourself.
See, Tails, how about we do what we came here for? Yeah, you mean kicking X's butt? The way it was meant to be, Sonic. I'm here. Get him. So be it, you dug your grave, Quickster. Can't breathe. Now for resting. And once I'm done away with the Hedgehog as my partner and your bionic bodyguard, I can turn my focus toward my real reason for coming here. To Mobius Southern Tundra and Nate Morgan, namely you.
Ix is using his mastery over the air to suck the oxygen molecules out of it. He's suffocating them unless act swiftly or not at all. Ixis, fetch! The lobed oval-shaped object passes through the stained glass window as easily as a pebble through a pond. And so does Ixis Nagas in his desperate pursuit of it.
Whoa, I feel so lightheaded. What that horn-headed heel? Ugh.
Steady now.
You got rid of the Nexus?
Only temporarily.
Still, it was an awesome move for an ancient overlander. We started to black out and missed everything. How do you do it, dude?
I got a few tricks of my own, as the wager Ixis is now finding out.
A hologram.
Gosh, you, Morgan. The protective wards around my fortress should keep the wretch out for the notes. Whatever the hell that means. In the meantime, allow me to introduce myself. Nathaniel Beauregard Morgan. You're a little bit on the rash side to be Jules the Hedgehog.
I'm his one and only son. You can call me a Sonic. This is Miles Power, my best bud in the whole world, but we all call him Tails. I went positive thinking your big friend was on Ix's side earlier.
Who? Eddie? He's loyal to me and no one else.
We thought we were chasing Ix all the way down here to stop his continued threat on the Kingdom Acorn. We were completely clueless. He was coming here looking for you. Who are you anyway, me Morgan? How do you know my pops, or Ix's for that matter? You're an overlander. No offense.
Do you really wish to know my tale, young one? It was so long ago, it seems like it was mere a dream. Your words be the only ears that have ever heard it, besides Eddie, that is, and perhaps the first to understand it. Once upon a time, I was an unknown geophysician who headed an underground team of scientists toiling away in the heart of the overland city of Megapolis. And what was it that demanded our attention every day and every night? Well, indeed, all seemed in readiness, it was supposed to be a viable alternative to the fossil fuel that had been polluting the countryside around us for all the years. But still, something nagged me to wait before testing. My assistant, Julian Kintobor of the House of Ivo, a brilliant young man with unlimited potential, assured me that he had checked all the collaborations to the T. He told me to seize the day. He even heaven help me, I did. I seized the day, and I was soon after seized by the authorities. Sedition, negligence, endangering public lives, noise pollution, the list of crimes went on. It was decided that since there was no loss of life, I was to be banished from overland forever, only forever. If I survived my trek through the Badlands, I resolved myself to being killed by the anthropomorphic Mobians who often came into contact with my kind. As with Julian before, I made a gross error in judgment, and although it would have been easier to meet with me with distrust as the royal guards did, King Frederick Acorn did just the opposite, and instead extended his hand in friendship. The kingdom of Acorn was very different back then. Unlike we overlanders, humans believed in the preservation of nature. It was the same reason why the kingdom had to remain in a pre-industrial state. With that awful memory of the accident in Overland City behind me, I felt once more at peace with myself. For I had been cast out by my own people, here I was accepted, even as a member of the royal court. I resumed my work with a new visor. Bigger, sorry, no, that's right, that was S. Bigger, and now I finally had the necessary component to safely complete my test. The power locked within a Chaos Emerald. Its innate energies allowed the new clean air power source I had been trying to perfect for years for it to come to fruition. The legendary gem powered by King Frederick, my own power rings as I could, oh, that is. For its awesome forces, the King of Acorn quickly advanced into technological golden age, and the city of Metropolis was built in commemoration. Sorry, I can't speak. But there were four natural elements of planet Mobius. There were now five: earth, wind, fire, water, and the power ring. I was hailed as the hero by the populace, and later watched with pride as young Prince Maximilian accepted the sovereign mantle from his aging sire. Now, the environmental ringmaker, I spent my time honoring the finest young minds in the kingdom. I seem to recall having your father and his brother Charles as two of my finest students, Sonic. All was well at last, or so I had foolishly believed. King Max had certain advisors who felt threatened by my presence in Metropolis. One of them was royal wizard Ixis Nagas, who could not convince the young monarch of my alleged treacherous nature. He sought other allies. General Kudos hated overlanders more than anyone in Metropolis, for Ixis winning him over was child's play. Ixis set about their scheme, one that would involve controlling the already strained emotions of a lost contingent of overlander ground troops. Did Ixis know that Kudos, his troops, and myself would run into the lost soldiers while performing an environmental survey of the Great Forest? Did Kudos? It was certainly odd that his armed troops should choose to accompany me on this occasion. My people aren't known for trying to settle arguments peacefully. Well, neither are yours. You can guess what happened. The sights and sounds of the battle must have been heard as far away as Castle Acorn, because the next thing I recall was seeing King Max, Dr. Horatio Quack, and a team of medics coming through the smoke. That was the last time I was glad to see a Mobian. From his bedside, the wounded Kudos told the king that it was I who revealed the location of the kingdom to the Overlanders. Ixis was quick to back him up in his lies. King Max and Queen Alicia were torn. I had bounced him on the knee when he was little, but that didn't believe the fact that Kudos and I were the only survivors of the skirmish. It was a terrible day. I would bear scars inner and outer from those events. I excelled myself this time. I caused enough problems for Orleans and Mobians alike. Yes, it was a terrible day for us all. I hadn't gone far my travels when I, by pure accident, stumbled down the hollow stump of a once proud oak. and found myself in an underground grotto leading to a hidden valley, neatly tucked away beneath a thick expanse of underbrush. I could have lived out the rest of my days in that idyllic setting, but I didn't. However, before making my way back up through that subtle knothole, the forest floor, I left a memento in my lost world. The technology was too powerful. A force being like X and Kudos would seek to exploit it for their own selfish purposes. So I dropped the ring forge into a deep, murky lake where no one would ever find it. For many seasons I trudged onward until I came to the snowy wastelands of the southern tundra. Did you know that the temperature here at the bottom of the world always remains below 0 degrees Fahrenheit? I've become so numb from the pain of my past that I hardly felt it. Rawr! But was I numb enough? Among the overlanders there have been whispers of mutates that have been created as a result of the days of fury that cured centuries past. There is no doubt in my mind that this snow beast, trapped beneath the fallen avalanche, was such a creature. To hear its anguished voice and see its pleading eyes confirmed me that the pain was real to it, as it was to my Mobian or Overlander. But I had sworn to never involve myself in the affairs of either group. Hadn't I? My one weakness has always been that I was a scientist who followed his heart and not his brain. That choice would often lead me into disaster. On that day I listened to my conscience again, and I not only saved a life, but I gained a true friend who has been to my side ever since. We built this castle, our home, flagstone by flagstone, and lived here in peace until Ixus tried to breach his mystical defenses earlier.
Don't you get it, Nate? You're the answer to a whole mess of riddles we've been asking ourselves for years. Doesn't explain why Ixie would come all the way here, gunning or magic wand in for you now. After all, didn't he get you out of the picture years ago?
Ixie, as you referred to him, did rid himself of me back then. He saw me as a threat to his continued position as rogue wizard. For my scientific science would replace his magic. But now he has something that the fiend wants all to himself.
Like what? Hold it, don't say another word. I think I'm I've got this one sewn up.
And that's the end of this. There's a sudden shattering collusion to the Ixis Naga trilogy. It's sure to rock your world. It's a mention Planet Mobius. Be there. Here's some fan art. And here's a pinup. And yeah, there's a extra story by Ken Penders, and his artwork looks really bad. Like Amy looks horrible in this art style. Heroes and Dulcie the Dragon. Yeah, in the library. Somewhere inside a building not too far from what used to be your robotics command center.
Amy Rose, Amy Rose. I'm here, Dulcie, when you see what I found. I love you, Amy, but I'm afraid there's more of me than there is room inside. Oh, I'm sorry, Dulcie. Tell you what, I'll reach you downstairs. This, this, you just gotta see. Hey, look for you cheetahs. If you had a pair of wings, you'd do the same. Would not. What do? Would not. What do? Look at it this way. You can go anywhere you like on the inside. Sure don't have dragons of mine would fill a lot of these places. I never thought of that. Yeah, it's not like you're the only one. So what's the big excitement over, Amy? I found a book, but not just any book. This one's really special. Oh yeah, how so? It's a book about a storyteller who could work wonders with his words and pictures. Sounds like a good story already. It's only it's not a story. Marcus the Owl wrote a book about a real creator. A great Dane named Kirby lived a long time ago. It's his stories that were to become our greatest legends. Hey, I gotta get a drink real quick because my throat's hurting.
This the whole storyline is pointless. Basically, it is great, but competitors would be like, I like Jack Kirby. Everybody who's in the comic industry does like Jack Kirby. So it's kind of stupid. It's a waste of time. And it doesn't even make any sense in the context of the Sonic universe when we would get later down into this or this gnome subplot.
Yeah, so what? It's only about him, not his stories. I didn't get to the punchline. According to this box, a complete set of Kirby stories were donated to the Metropolis Library for safekeeping. I will be so sorry, Amy. That Jeff Robotic didn't trash the library like he did virtually everything else. I hope not. Everyone's been so busy working to rebuild the city that we haven't had the time to consider if anything survive that. That'd be fun. Well, what do you say we check it out, kiddo? Really, Dulcie? I'm aboard, Amy. We're flying. Do you know where the library is, Dulcie? I know. I sure haven't a clue. Relax, Amy. We dragons have an unerring sense of direction. Unfortunately, the library's in a rough section of town. Maybe we should turn back. No, Dulcie. No, we're so close. Please. I suppose, Amy. But the first sign of trouble, I'll be the first to say, out of here, Dulcie. Here's the library. What's left of it? It is, that is. At least there's something left. Wow, this place is some place. Fair being for you, Dulcie. Pretty dark too. For you look nothing but books. Lots and lots of books. Surprised your bike didn't hold a bonfire here. So what are you looking for, Amy? Something called the Day Man? A Kirby book. Look around, there's gotta be more. Kirby creates so much illegally filled volumes. Amy, did you hear that? Yeah, it felt like a door opening. Think what I'm thinking? Somebody else is here. We should be getting back, don't you think? Sounds like a plan to me. Right, just when we're about to hit the treasure chest. Don't worry, Amy. Once we tell the others what we found, I'm sure they'll be excited to come back with us. You think so?
Well, those stories when you discovered, Amy, I'm sure of it. Hello? The full story is rarely ever told, with many layers upon layers. When to be peeled away, there are many secrets waiting to be explored in Metropolis, the library being only one of them. Next issue, however, our attention turns to the origin of Ixis Nagus. And that's what we'll be looking at next time. See ya then.